Hey, peace and love, peace and love. I hope everybody's doing good, man. Um, hope everybody's doing well. Give me one second. Give me one second. Oh, make sure well balanced. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing, man? Once again, I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's staying focused in the midst of this matrix. In the midst of this, at times could be a big stage show, a circus, a sitcom, a drama, foolishness, a whole bunch of weird stuff. Um, but overall, though, God is good, man. I gotta say that. I have to say that God is good. Despite all the things that's going on in the world, God is good. I didn't want to talk too long. I was just going to react to this one video. I wanted you to hear it. It is by. I want to give her credit where credit is due. Her name is Abigail Lucy Mary. All right. These videos just come across my timeline. I'm a disability attorney at Attica. It's not a secret that getting freedom fighters who travel from one African country to the other. So I'm going to allow you to listen to. This is her reacting to a video, I guess, that he, or I guess a video that this other gentleman put out. She doesn't say his name, or excuse me, his name is not shown here, but I guess he's speaking in regards to what's going on in Burkina Faso. I haven't really spoke on it. I've seen videos on it, but I haven't really spoke on it. I think the things that are happening there is positive. It's not something that I want to like too much engage with because it's a very hot topic, and but I'm for all the positive changes that's coming to the continent. But this guy is speaking very, very passionately about people that he said that are agents. I don't want to be triggered because I guess I've been speaking out about some of the things going on in Africa, and I don't want to make it seem as though like I feel as though he's talking to me. But in a sense, when it comes to this game, this matrix, this physical dimension, you have you guys, believe it or not, they are people walking around in human flesh, right? That are not all the way human, right? For instance, what you see going on in Cameroon, there's been no talk about changing that leader out, and he's been there for almost 4 decades, they said. And I think the gentleman is in his 90s, and the people hardly see him. That is for a reason, right? I didn't want to talk too long, but Dick Gregory said it best. The technology that we think that we are allowed to see is mind-boggling. He said that you could take car keys, the keyless entry keys, right? Some cars, you know, remote control, right? And they're wired or censored to that specific car. He said if you drive around the country, that car remotely would not open any other car but the car that's meant for that one car. He said that's how advanced the technology is. And he said that's just for a car, right? And that's the technology that we're allowed to see. Folks, when I was in the military, I understood why the things that the military got is after the military had utilized it, then the public would get access to it. These things are very true because I've seen it for myself firsthand. I'm not going to get into the details of the technology, but that was a very, very real statement. So anything that we see now is kind of cool and whatever. All right. Just to be, all right. Let's just say the military as a whole, regardless of where they are on the planet, for the most part, is usually years ahead of the modern society, regardless of what country it is, regardless is the richest country or the poorest country. The military is usually years ahead in technology. And then at some point, that technology is released or trickled down for the public to get an opportunity to utilize it, right? When the military is using something far more advanced, all right? With that being said, everybody, especially at this time, right? In Africa, I have to let you know, there are people that's going to be coming to the continent, right? And there are people leaving the continent. We see that happening, right? When I told you that these alien people are real, they are real, and a lot of them are in Africa, right? I have to be real. A lot of them in Africa. Hopefully, what I'm saying, people get the chance to hear it. And what's the saying? Eat the meat and spit out the bones, right? A lot of people are agents too, right? A lot of people are sellouts. This brother that's talking, you can clearly hear in his voice that he's possibly, I would like to see his bank account and like to know who's paying him. I would gladly show my bank account, sir. But I can tell that he's either an alien using a human avatar, or he is a sellout or an agent himself, right? And I said to the continent of Africa, people get greed out of your heart for you to ascend, all right? Because there's a lot of things happening in the physical realm, in the spiritual realm, and in our mental realms. Because as a collective, we are changing the reality around us, right? I didn't want to talk too much about a bunch of stuff, but if I have 5 people that are skilled in a specific trait or trade, right? Like I have a guy that's a plumber, electrician. I'm trying to think what else. Whatever, a welder. There's different skills, right? And then I got 5 guys that worked in corporate America. If things was to hit the fan and we was to restart society, who do you think that I would go to first in regards to building up society again as we know it? I'm gonna go to the skilled guys. No disrespect. In an unrealistic reality, you've been led to believe that corporate people are very, very important people. These are the people that sit around and type up memos. They work on presentations, right? To get ideas out there and to produce investments and in the dealings of money, right? And we know now in a realistic sense, money is worthless without it being backed by something, right? Without no legitimate, strong resource, right? So this is the reality that a lot of us have been in. I know now for myself, nobody with a big time degree can look down on me. And I'm not being disrespectful or mean, because nothing that they have done has changed or made the world a better place or a positive place. A lot of scientists, if they come up with something that's going to benefit people, they usually get shut down, they get silenced, or I have to be honest, sometimes they get unalived. A lot of holistic doctors throughout the years, regardless of race, if their methods, or they've come up with some type of herbs or whatever, right? And it counteracts the pharmaceutical industry. They get scrutinized, discredited, probably lose their license, all of that stuff, or they get unalived. They're that dangerous, they get unalived. These things are real, these things are facts. All right? But I want you to listen to this brother speak. I want you to listen to this brother speak. Please use discernment. Use discernment when you hear these people talk. All right? They are shapeshifters, reptilians, aliens amongst us, especially on the continent at this time. Fighters who travel
listen to
from one African country to the other, pretending to be preaching Pan-Africanism in support of everything Pan-Africanism is, but are secretly in association with white imperialist organizations. And I'm also referring to African Americans who comes off as Pan-Africanists and love Africa and want to relocate here and do business here, but are actually agents of the Matrix. Ladies and gentlemen, the security of Traore is as important as the country Burkina Faso itself. There must not be any circumstance where any visitor, no matter who they are, sits in a radius of 10 meters from him. Do you see how Putin meets his own appointees in the Kremlin? He sits far from them, and that is because of his awareness as a former KGB agent of what a traitor can do.
Oh, Your Majesties, a lot of information there. I hope that we pick one or two.
Now, listening to what he said, right? He's saying that a lot of people have the potential to be traitors. All right. Once again, I'm disappointed because I didn't get a chance to hear his name or look him up or to see what his credibility is like. Let me see if they have anything about him in the comment section. Or maybe let me see, maybe she says his name. Because apparently, I guess the argument is that there's a lot of fake stuff on the internet, a lot of artificial intelligence stuff. And you can believe it or not, just based on my interaction with these AI generated stuff, I can tell you for a fact it is either the ABC boys in reality, or it is literally some type of demonic alien agenda, and these aliens or demons or whatever you want to call them are in another realm trying to figure out humanity. They want to know what's going on in your brain, right? To once again to control the reality that they're presenting to you, right? They want you to be comfortable in this matrix. They don't want you to unalive yourself. They don't want you guys to be sad, and they want you to be able to be willing participants in the matrix. They want you to work. They want you to be willing to suffer. All right. Go back and look at the Matrix movie. They said that in the first Matrix, people weren't happy about being happy. Go back and listen to it yourself. All right. So they want you to be comfortable with the misery that they're putting you through. So, for instance, with Africa's reality changing now, they're looking at it like, why is it that Africa wants to come out of the misery? All right. I'm trying to see if maybe they say this gentleman's name. All right. So this guy right now, based on the talking, he has no credibility. I would like to see his bank accounts. I'd like to see who's sponsoring his show. Right. I'm hoping that he's human. Right. But his name is not. Let me see if they talk about him in the comment section, because I made a comment about it. They don't say his name and what country he's from. Folks, I would say this is not a time to be fearful. A lot of stuff is fake. Um, yes, people will probably try and poison these African leaders. Listen, it's like this, and I heard Bobby Hemmett say it too. To these people, this is a game. All right, these people know what they're doing is wrong. All right, they know that stealing from the continent is wrong. They know that they're vampires and leeches. They know that they're leeching from the continent, and they've been lying to people, telling about how poor Africa is. But in reality, we see the truth. Right? We see reality for what it is. Africa is the richest continent on the planet. Let me say that again. Africa is the richest continent on the planet. Right? And it's funny that the gentleman would say we're African Americans. He didn't say that we were. He didn't say we were Black Americans. He didn't say that we were Americans. And is it funny that America is composed of so many people from different countries, and you hardly you hardly hear people truly be referenced to where they're from geographically in the world. But us, they're quick to call us African Americans. And you know what's funny? I'm from Jamaica originally. But you hardly hear somebody say, "Hey, look at that Chinese American over there. Look at that Indian American over there, or look at that European American over there. Look at that um, look at that South American over there. Look at that Australian American over there. Look at that South Asian, Southwest East, Southeast Asian over there." You hardly hear it, but they'll refer to us. First place they'll refer to is Africa. But yet that I'm being told, a lot of us, I'm not going to say us, a lot of people say they're not even from Africa. They said that they were here. And I'm thinking to myself, how? At some point you must have migrated. Keep in mind that long before anybody else was traveling over here, Africans were traveling the planet too. I know this is a history that they don't talk about. Um, but yes, your ancestors were traveling to different parts of the world. Calamities did happen on the planet. Civilization as we know it did have to restart. Only a special group got a chance to inherit a lot of the old ancient knowledge. All right. I don't know if this is a lie or not. I heard the Moors saved Europe during the Dark Ages, and as a result, um, the Europeans got mad at the Moors and kicked them out of their country. There was a big war, and not too long after that, these Moorish wars where black people were ruling most of Europe. No disrespect. Um, Coincidentally, slavery started not too long after that. I don't know how true that is, but and once again, I have to be clear. Slavery, for the most part, started because black people allowed it. Black people have always outnumbered every other race on this planet. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or try to be mean. There's no coincidence now that birth rates are going down. there are less and less people of Pacific races that you will find on the planet. And even that sometimes is just based on Nephilim, probably aliens, divide and conquer. Because melanated people can have mutated children, what you call albinos. Not trying to be mean or disrespectful. I looked at one special, a Brazilian couple. They had 3 white children. No disrespect. Their hair was blonde, and they had light eyes, which we would call recessive genes. They did not have dominant genetic traits passed down from their parents, but their children could pass for white children easily. Well, you see, racism is been the biggest way to distract you physically in your spiritual walk in this physical third dimensional realm. If I take somebody from like say I take a lady, I could take an old couple from Mexico or somewhere in South America and bring them to the Philippines and swap out them for another old couple, you would not tell the difference of who is from where. If I take some mixed people and brought them to Ethiopia, and they're mixed people too after years of mixing, right? You would not tell a difference. One of your old presidents, he's of a mixed he's a production of a mixed family, right? I believe his mother was Caucasian and his father was African, and he was an ex-president. But if you look at the man, he looks like he's from Ethiopia. He looks like he's from East Africa somewhere, easily. And then because of ignorance, because of racism, you have some parts of Europe where the people have darker traits. They have darker hair. They have darker eye colors, right? They can tan very well. They have no problems with the sun. I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful. I wasn't really triggered by this. I hope everybody's doing well. If I didn't say that, hope everybody's doing good. I don't like to talk because I like to keep to myself. The other day I realized that I got to control my temper because sometimes I can be very impatient. As I say, I'm trying to find a balance. But God is good. I did get some of my documentation back. Let me show it to y'all. Because this brother kind of tricked me a little bit, I guess, with his blabbering about people. And I'm not going to Burkina Faso. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or mean. I'm not going there. That place is hot right now. And I have no issues, and I don't want no issues with nobody. But yeah, I finally got my. Yeah, so I got that. So I'll be traveling soon. But yeah, I definitely want to come and see the motherland. That's what I definitely plan on doing. Coming to see the motherland. I don't know if it's well, I know what it is spiritually. But I want to say people on the continent though, man, a lot of your brothers and sisters are gonna come, man. To them, I don't want to talk how long I've been talking already. And I've been talking a long time. To them, it's kind of like you have to be patient with us, and we're going to be patient with you, because, like I said, because of technology and the fact that they've been trying to keep Africa down for a long time. It for us is like traveling into a time machine, right? So when we come back, and it's literally that's how time works. It's crazy, right? Because we're traveling the globe, but we're going different. We're going back in time or forward in time, whatever you want to say, right? A lot of the things that what we're used to, we have to readjust ourselves, because it feels as though some parts of Africa is back in time in a sense, right? Certain things that they don't do, certain technologies they don't have, right? And I hear people giving their different complaints. Like I said, I grew up on the island, so I'm used to certain things. It's not like I'm a country kid, not like I'm a city boy. I grew up in the country with my grandparents, my great grandparents. So I've lived through the aspects of no electricity and no modern technology, things of that, you know what I'm saying? Outhouses, things of that nature. All right. But we know that things are improving now, because every day things should get better. Things shouldn't be getting worse. Things should be getting better. That is why we see the things happening now that we're seeing, because people are, as a collective, are waking up and saying, why does it seem as though things are getting worse when they should be getting better for us? Because the powers that be want you to vibrate low so that they can continue to conquer you and look down on you and feel like they're above you. But to the people on the continent, man, just as you see people leaving, you're going to see other people coming. The tribulation is a real thing. It's coming. There have been several financial resets in the world. There's no coincidence that the price of gold is going up. It's no coincidence. We see empires rise and we see empires fall. You guys have learned about it all throughout history. And usually that it's usually the internal components that usually causes the fall. It's not always external. It's usually internal. It's the people that are supposed to be running things are the ones causing the problems. I'm being real. Manipulating the game, manipulating the numbers. These things are real, folks. Listen, the super rich, they want to stay super rich. They don't want to. If this person is a billionaire, they don't want to be a multimillionaire. They want to continue being a billionaire. Do you understand? This is why I say to the people in Africa, be careful, use discernment. Everybody is not for us. Everybody that you see in black skin is not black. Some of them are aliens. Some of them are demons. You have to wake up to these things. It's real. This is not just a movie. This is not just me talking. Not everybody is human. That's why some of you have been living under subhuman conditions. Some of you travel, you be like, wow, this country looks nice, or this country, why can't our country look like that? But your country is worth trillions and billions of dollars worth of resources, but then you don't even see that reciprocated in your country. Billions and trillions of dollars, but some of you still have dirt roads. Some of you don't have fresh water. All right, I'm not going to talk too long. Everybody be good. To the chosen ones, I love you. To the people that's walking this earth, Be safe. And find your soul. All right. I talked way too long. I talked like 30 minutes. Be good, man.
Power on.
It's the kid.